So, this show on Adult Swim, this show came out in like 2003 or 2004 on Adult Swim. It's supposed to be a parody of Johnny Quest. It's a 1960s cartoon that came out. This is a parody of it. It's called The Adventure Brothers. And I grew up with this show. First 3 seasons, I grew up watching it. Afterwards, I got pretty bored after like Brock left the family and went to his old job and stuff like that. I got like pretty bored out of my mind after that. I think I watched like half of the 4th season or something like that, and the show just went downhill after the 3rd season or something. This wasn't the same. It was pretty funny the first 3 seasons. It had like great action. You know, Brock Sampson kicking a lot of ass. You know, taking names, being badass and shit. I feel like afterwards it's just you're like, fuck it, you know, I'm not, fuck this bodyguard shit. I'm going back to my old job. After that, it's just it wasn't the same anymore, man. Like the first 3 seasons was good, and after that, it's just I don't know what they're thinking of. The show just went downhill after the 3rd season. It just went downhill. Even though he does come back in the 6th season, he does come back to be the bodyguard again. It's just the show wasn't the same anymore. Well, once he like left after the 3rd season, he just left back to his old job. Which I feel like after the 3rd season, it should have like focused more on Brock Sampson and his old job instead of the Venture family and the Monarch. But I can understand it's show's called The Adventure Brothers, so I can understand why they don't focus more on Brock. They focus more on the family and the new bodyguard they have. That's not not Brock anymore. It's Hatred. Hatred used to be their arch nemesis and stuff like that in the earlier seasons, and then he changed and he became their bodyguard because he became good. He started working for the Venture Brothers. He's their new bodyguard, which he still is later on in the show. He still is. I mean, he's all right. It's just that I'm not really that crazy about him. I'm more of a bigger fan of Brock Sampson than Hatred. Hatred is just, he's just a middle-aged dude, said a bunch of goofy shit. He was like dumb-witted, dim-witted. He reminds me of like Patrick Star or something. It's like a goofball. And Brock Sampson does a better job with it than he does, but Brock was working his old job because he got bored being a bodyguard and shit, so it makes sense. But I don't know, it wasn't the same when he left the family. Go back to his old job, it wasn't the same. And like I said, his other characters like the Monarch, Dr. Venture's worst enemy. He always try to plot against them and shit with his two minions. One of them sounds like Ray Romano. The skinny dudes sound like Ray Romano, and the other one, he has a fat, chubby dude. And those two are like best friends with each other. And he has this, the Monarch has his wife who talks like a man, and she's like attractive, but she talks like a man. I didn't mind her either. I didn't mind her. I didn't mind his two henchmen. I didn't mind, the Doctor Strange parody guy. I didn't mind him. I thought he was fucking hilarious as shit. I keep forgetting his fucking name. I had it before what his name was. I gotta go back now just to look up his fucking name again. Shit. I just had his fucking name before. I'm gonna go here. It was, what was it again? Fuck, I gotta scroll like a jackass now. Dr. Orpheus, that was Dr. Orpheus. He's basically the Doctor Strange parody. Yeah, he has his daughter, Triana Orpheus, who's, she hangs around Hank and Dean, and she dates Dean. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about Hank and Dean. Hank and Dean's like a whiny, annoying. Hank I like because he's actually pretty chill. But yeah, the fucking Dean, man, he's such a whiny baby, dude. Like Dr. Venture, he's also like he also bitches and moans at times, but he's less annoying than his son, fucking Dean. Yeah, he has this past where he couldn't stand his father, he couldn't really stand himself and stuff like that. He's a scientist, and all this scientist stuff.
he's not a bad character. He's just that he whines too goddamn much. That's where fucking Dean got it from. And he has this fucking robot named Helper who talks like this, or something like that. He doesn't really speak English or anything like that because I guess he didn't really program it into him. He just how he talks. And you know, Brock Sampson's voiced by Patrick Warburton. You remember him from Family Guy, voicing Joe Swanson, and you know, playing in the show David Puddy in Seinfeld. He's a pretty good actor. I love Patrick Warburton. He also played that character. I forgot his name. The Roach or something like that. I forgot. He played this big blue bug guy. I forgot what his name was. I never watched that show, but I could try it one day and watch it. I think it's another cartoon show he voiced. But oh yeah, also what's the other fucking characters in this show? Dr. Henry Killinger. That dude was actually a pretty cool character they came up with. I like his sinister tone in his voice, the way that they drew him and stuff. Like he's a really cool character when they came up with him. Like the concept of these characters they came up with in this show is like very, very creative. I feel like if this show was like more serious tone and more action than comedy, it would have been a really, really good show. I mean, it still is with a comedy. It's just that the comedy is not always there for me. To be fair, and to be honest. Also, you have characters from Johnny Quest. You know, Action Johnny. He's a parody of Johnny Quest. He's in here. He's old. He's old hippie. You know, he's in therapy and stuff like that with Dr. Avenger. There are times he goes through a lot of things. You know. Also, the other dude from Johnny Quest is in here. Also, I forgot what his fucking name was. He was their bodyguard, and oh yeah, I think it was. Hold on, it almost came to me. It almost came to my head for a second. Damn it, I forgot. He was there for a little bit until he died. I forgot how he died. He fell from the ground. He was talking to like fucking Brock about some shit happened or something. Oh, Race. I think it was Race. That's what it was. It was Race. He was the dude from the Johnny Quest show. Race. Yeah, Race was in there for like the earlier season. Like I think like first or second season. I remember that scene. I was like, oh shit. The thing is, I never actually really watched Johnny Quest when I was a kid. I heard some things about it. I heard about Johnny Quest. I heard like some things about it. I remember that there was like an Indian kid in that show who was also a Johnny Quest and the Doctor and Race. I remember that. I mean, in this show, it's the brothers in this show, Adventure Brothers. The brothers, Hank and Dean. Instead of an Indian boy and Johnny Quest, this time in this version, they're brothers. Well, I think actually like twins. I think they're like twins. I think they were. Yeah, I think they're like twins. And they never knew who their real mother is and stuff like that. They're still. I think that's gonna happen in like that upcoming movie supposed to be coming out, which I don't think is ever gonna come out because how long these streaming services take to make these fucking projects, especially with Beavis and Butthead, the new Beavis and Butthead, and the new Boondocks. It's like taking forever for that shit to even come out. Like it's been like 8-10 months. They had like this Beavis and Butthead promo on YouTube and shit, and now it's been like 8-10 months. Then it came out. No movie, no show, nothing. Still, it's like the Boondocks. It's been like over 2 years now. Nothing really came out yet. Not until like next year, which who knows? It's probably never gonna come out because this generation's soft. So it's like with the Venture Brothers movie, which this show got canceled after like 7 seasons, which the show wasn't really doing that well anyways. I don't think the show wasn't there anymore like it used to be for the first 3 seasons. First 3 seasons was golden. Afterwards, just Brock left. The new guy replaces him. Hatred. He replaces him. He's a dim-witted dude. Said goofy stuff. And like other characters became more dim-witted and stuff like that. Saying all these goofy stuff, all these weird scenes. This wasn't the same anymore. Like I actually love the character the Doctor Strange parody dude. I love that dude. I love the dude with, you know, like the other guys, dude with the white hair, the other dude with the eye patch. I like those characters. I didn't mind them. I didn't mind those Monarch henchmen guys. I didn't mind them. I didn't mind the Monarch. I didn't mind his wife. I didn't mind her. Or him, or whatever, you know. Well, whatever the hell he is. Or she. But the show just went downhill. It just went downhill after the third season. It just wasn't funny, wasn't like interesting anymore. Maybe it still was. It's just I stopped watching like half through, like mid through the fourth season. I stopped watching it. I just got fucking bored. It just wasn't the same. Once Brock left the group, left the family. And I definitely like Baron Warner. I definitely like that character. His creativity on him is like really badass. The way they made him too. Like the way they designed him with especially his iron jaw and stuff like that. Like come on, like this stuff's like all these characters are like very creative, very well designed. And somehow they make it like more of a comedy more than a serious action tone film, a series. It made more like serious action show more than a comedy. I mean, it's fine if they had like a few jokes like once in a while, like the movie Predator 1987, where you know they joke around a couple of times and stuff like that. If this show was like the Predator, when they make a couple of jokes on and off, that would have been like really superb. But they didn't go for that. They go for more for comedy than the action and the badassery. Which there is badass scenes in this show. It's just that I want to see like more of it, like more badass scenes. I think it shows them a more serious tone. Cause like look at these characters. Look at these superheroes. Look at these supervillains. Like, look at all these fucking characters, especially the supervillains. Like look at them. They're like really fucking awesome the way that they're designed. Like, how do you be this fucking smart and somehow you want to turn into some comedy? Like, it should have been like more serious. Like, it should have been like more serious tone to it. And people would be like, it is serious tone. Not exactly. It shows like more comedy than action. Most of the time they're making jokes most of the time. Like look, like I said, if you watch this show, you look at all these characters. You can see like this show should have been more of a serious tone action series, where all these characters are perfectly designed. Well, not like perfectly, but they're like very well designed. Very well created. Like after like the fucking third season, like the show became like more of a joke more than like kicking ass and stuff. Yeah. Season 4 to 7, it still is kicking ass at times, but it's not like all the time like the first 3 seasons had it. Like the jokes were fine, the action was great. Brock is always kicking ass, choking motherfuckers out and stuff like that. Like the later seasons, does like I said, it's like more and more jokes. It's like more silly jokes more than the action and then the serious tone. Like all these characters that very well done. It's very well created and shit off of like Marvel and DC characters. This show would have been very badass if they made a more serious tone and more action to it. Oh yeah, I forgot about Molotov Cocktease. Funny name, right? She's another character that's based off another character, not Scarlet Witch, Black Widow. She's based off of her, and in this show she's like very sexualized, and she cock teases motherfuckers also, besides her being a badass and shit with the eye patch and whatnot. I actually really like her character too. She's like very well designed also. There's a lot of creativity on her also. Like I really like her character also. I also forgot about Dr. Venger's father, Jonas Venger. Did I talk about that? I think I did talk about him already. Like he couldn't stand him and stuff like that. And now later on he has his brother Jonah Venger Jr., which another person he couldn't stand because he's just like his father. He couldn't stand him also. I think he was like reborn from his father or something. I forgot what happened. Like he couldn't stand it here because I think he always making jokes about him, saying like, "Oh, it's Dusty, he's stupid," all that stuff. Like he couldn't stand his dad still, for how he was and whatnot. But yeah, all these characters are like very creative, very well designed, very well written. Like their personality is well written, pretty good. Like come on, like I feel like I said, if this shit was more serious tone, more like it was more action, more serious tone than comedy. It was like more like Predator 1987 with the comedy and stuff like that, with the jokes. This show would have been like fucking awesome, man. I'm telling you. I'll fucking tell you. Like I think that's what killed the show after the third season. Like it made like more comedy than action and the seriousness. They made like more. They made more like that instead of anything. To be fair, like I said, I didn't mind the jokes. I didn't mind it. It's just that it was too much of it. It should have been more serious toned. It'd been fine. It was like jokes on and off. But it was way too much of the jokes. I think the story wasn't even the same either after the third season. It's got like kind of stale, and like the episode wasn't really that there because it was more about. It felt like I was watching like filler shit more than anything. I felt like I was watching more like filler. All these like corny flashbacks and whatnot about these stories I don't really care about. It should be more like more adventures with the Adventure Brothers and Brock Sampson. It should be more like that instead of all these other characters, like stories about these other characters I don't really give two shits about. I don't really care about. The story should have focused more on Adventure Brothers and Brock Sampson and their adventures. I mean, they're called Adventure Brothers for a reason, right? Should be more adventures about them instead of, these stories about these other characters like Monarch and all these other characters. Like I don't fucking care. Well, their flashbacks and all that other stuff. Like I don't care. I want to see more adventures of them, of Brock Sampson kicking ass and shit. Like I don't fucking care about all that other stuff, man. Or like flashbacks with the midget eye patch guy. I forgot what his fucking name was. There it is. Billy Quizboy. It's the reason. Oh yeah, I knew his name was Billy, but I don't know the last name was Quizboy. But yeah, Billy. That's what. Yeah, it's fucking Billy. I should get that easily. Yeah, it's like he had this flashback out about him. I was like, I don't fucking care how he lost his eyeball and shit.
Crazy, man.
Like I didn't care about that shit. I care why he lost his fucking eyeball. So how he met the other guy. Like, what the fuck do I care about that story? I don't fucking care. Oh yeah, like another character here, Red Death. Like, that's another fucking creative ass fucking character. Red Death, man. The way he looks too, he looks fucking badass. This shit should have been more serious tone. This show should have been more serious tone action show, more than comedy. This is too creative. I know the basis of Marvel and DC characters. I know, but the way they redesign these characters is like, come on, like, how does shit not serious? How does shit not more serious tone action? Like I said, once in a while, like on and off jokes, that's fine. Not like too much like they do in the show. It should be like the Predator, how they joke around. It should be just like how they did it in that movie. Here is it's like non-stop. Maybe the jokes is fine. It's just that I think I wanted to be like more serious tone action. I don't know if we're not gonna see that because what happened now. She got canceled. But it's getting a movie though. But like I said, I'm not if that's ever gonna happen. To be fair, like I said, it could take like forever to work on this shit. These studios. Yeah. Like I said, like the first three seasons was good. They were like, I think they were pretty golden. The first three seasons of Adventure Brothers, and after that, Brock left, and I was just like, I lost interest. wasn't really that interested. I was like, nah, this is pretty boring. I just stopped watching it. Like mid through the fourth season, I just stopped watching it. I was like, this shit's boring. Like, I don't even remember that much from the fourth season. I don't remember that much. Most shit I remember was the first 3 seasons. The most shit I remember from those seasons. They should have just left it alone the way that it was. I mean, it's fine if Brock Simpson like left the season, left the show. That was left the show. If he left the family for like just 1 season and he came back like the 5th season instead of like the 6th, I think it would have been better if they did it like that. But they didn't go for that. They didn't go for that way. You know. Yeah, like I said, the show was pretty good until after the 4th season it went downhill. It just wasn't the same. It was more about the comedy, humor stuff more than the action, the seriousness. So yeah, it just went down to hell after the 3rd season, in my opinion.